like in every way that you can think of, take care of your body in the physical way, in the doctor, the health way, the doctoral way, because you can feel great on the outside, but just because you feel great on the outside, it doesn't mean that your body is functioning properly on the inside. I just watched a podcast the other day, and they had a doctor on, and the doctor was taking their blood so that they can test for, deficiencies and all of these different areas. And I thought it was just, amazing. I was like, man, that's something that a lot of people have a fear of, is getting bad results. I know I do. Like, I have a fear of getting bad results, and it's a lot of the reason why I didn't go to the doctor, for a long time, up until recently. I've recently started going back to the doctor, getting my regular checks in, because I started to understand the importance of being here for your family long term, right? So I definitely want to say to every single last one of you all, man, I definitely apologize. But let's get right into the stuff. So we're actually talking about how to have a productive summer. This is one of the most important times in the lives of young people, is what their summer looks like, because they can have a great school year, and then when the summertime comes, they can lose it all. And trust me, if you don't use it, you will lose it. And if they don't do anything to retain what they learned over the summertime, chances are students will lose those skills, and they will begin to decline, and then they will get to the point where they lose those skills. And you cannot afford to lose the skills of everything that you worked so hard to gain up until this point. You have to continue to compound on top of those skills so that you can turn those skills into newer skills when you get into middle school, when you get into high school, or when you just get into the next grade. You don't want to run into a situation where you start to lose all of the things that you worked so hard for. So in order to not do that, these are a couple of things that I'm going to encourage you to do. Number one, it's just, even if it's just for 30 minutes a day, even if it's just for 30 minutes a day, I need you to practice something, right? I need you to practice in math. I need you to practice in reading. Doesn't matter what it is, but I need you for 30 minutes, right, in this day, to at least practice something. Or parents, I need you to encourage your kids to practice something at least for 30 minutes. Because if we don't, what will happen is those skills will begin to deteriorate. I'll tell you guys a quick story. When I went back to school after taking 4 years off to receive my master's degree, I started to realize, yo, that a lot of the skills that I had, I'm like, I can't even write no more. Like, what's happening? I'm like, I can't even like I can't even read no more. Like, what's happening? Like, all of these, thank y'all so much for the likes over on TikTok, man. I appreciate y'all, yo. I'm like, I can't even, like, I'm doing my I'm writing my papers like I write in my text messages, right? I'm doing all of these things, and I'm like, where is this coming from? And then I started to remember, and I'm saying to myself, oh, the reason why I'm finding it difficult to write is because I haven't been practicing these skills. And because I haven't been practicing these skills, because I haven't sorry, y'all. Because I haven't been practicing these skills, I'm starting to lose how to do these skills, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to always practice going. Hold on, y'all. I need you to practice these skills. I need you to practice these skills. You cannot sit at the house You can't just sit at mommy and daddy's house and just wake up every single day when you want to, right? And at least Monday through Thursday, right? Or at least Monday through Wednesday, right? I want you to wake up. I want you to be productive. I want you to do something. Have a goal in your mind to say, listen, it's July. I want to read at least 2 books in July. Have a goal to at least say, yo, it's July. It's July tomorrow. And I'm going to, practice 3 times a week math, at least just for 1 hour. We cannot get to a point where we are allowing comfort and peace and the ease of life to make the bulk of our decisions. You cannot afford, I promise you, you cannot afford to allow these things to interrupt your ability and your desire to get better. I went to a gala this weekend. And I had an opportunity. Thank y'all so much to everybody that's over here on Facebook. Appreciate y'all joining the live. But I went to a gala this weekend, and it was a gala with Mayor Brandon Scott of Baltimore, Governor Wes Moore of Maryland, and former President Joe Biden. And at the gala, it really showed me, man, like that number one, being ready for the moment is more important than anything else that we're doing, right? So like we have to be ready for those moments that call us to be the people that we are. And the only way that you're ready for those moments is if you're continuing to practice every single day. But many of us are not continuing to practice every single day. The work that you're doing when nobody is watching, that's the work that matters. That's the work that counts. That's the stuff. What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for coming in, man. I appreciate y'all, everybody on Facebook. But that's the stuff that counts. That's the stuff that people are not taking into consideration. You doing the work when nobody matters. When nobody is watching, what is it that you're doing? How are you getting better? Did you go? Listen, y'all see me almost every day. I do a story. I didn't do it today because I didn't go to the gym today, but I do that story every single day. And I say, listen, y'all went to the gym today. Yeah, you went to the gym today physically, but did you go to the gym today mentally? And I'm going to keep saying that. That's always going to be, because remember, we know that being in your bag isn't just monetary. Being in your bag, it's also mental. Being in your bag is also emotional, right? Being in your bag is also spiritual. Being in your bag is also being in your bag is everything. It's operating in excellence. It's completely focused in your zone, and it's executing at a high level. But you can't do those things if you're allowing your skills to depreciate over time. And the only way that your skills won't depreciate over time is if you use those things. When I was learning Spanish a few years back, I was learning Spanish and I was doing pretty well at it, but I lost my streak on Duolingo, and then I just stopped practicing Spanish altogether. What did I do next? I went back to Duolingo, and then now I'm like, dang, I got to start all over again. Why? Because if you don't use it, you will lose it. And I don't want your children to lose these skills that they've learned, that they've gained over the summer. I don't want your kids to lose those skills. So the best way for them not to lose those skills is to continue every single day, or at least a couple of times a week, using those skills. And how do they use those skills? Well, it's very simple. They're going to use those skills by doing something active and proactive in that subject, in that area. It is July. We do not have time to waste with our kids. We do not have time to play with our kids. This ain't for play. This is 100% real. This is 100% real. And we need to make sure that our kids are not losing the things that got them where they are right now. And if you don't want your kids to do that, they need to read. They need to read. All right. You need to set a time for them. They need to read. Don't matter what time they get up. Right. That doesn't matter to me over the summertime. If you want to stay up until whatever time, cool. But just make sure that you're getting your priority list done. Right. Because it's going to be that way in college. I'm not going to be there to wake you up when you go to college. So I'm going to treat your summer like a college experience. Right. I'm going to be there. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do all of the things that I know that I need to do as your parent. But at the same time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you certain levels of freedom so that you know that, hey, just make sure that your tasks are done. If you make sure that your tasks are done, then you're good with me, right? And and listen, I talked to all of the students already. I talked to all of the students and I told them how, if you want to stay home, if you want to stay at your parents' house for an extended period of time, what do you need to do? Make yourself invisible. Because if you are too noticeable after you graduated high school, I promise you, your parents are going to start to resent the fact that they allowed you to stay at their house for all of this time. I'm telling you. All right. So keep yourself invisible. How do you keep yourself invisible if you want to stay at your parents' house? They shouldn't need to feed you. They shouldn't need to give you money. They shouldn't be doing your laundry. They shouldn't be cleaning up after you. They shouldn't be, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? They shouldn't be doing your laundry. They shouldn't be cleaning up after you. They shouldn't be tripping over your dirty clothes. Sometimes your parents need to come home and the kitchen is clean. The living room is vacuumed or swept. The bathroom is clean. However many bathrooms you got in your house, you know what I'm saying? If you got a little $20, look, just put $20 in a note on your parents' desk, on your parents' pillow, and say, look, mom, dad, here's a couple dollars so that you can go grocery shopping. I know it's not a lot, but I at least wanted to feel like I'm contributing something to the house. If you place it in your parents' eyesight and in your parents' mind sight that you want to contribute to the house as opposed to simply taking from the house all the time, I promise you, your parents will appreciate you far more. All right. I promise you they would appreciate you far more. Another thing that you need to do if you want to have a productive summer this year. So we talked about reading books, right? We talked about reading books. The other thing that you need to learn during the summer this year is you've got to learn financial literacy and you've got to learn how to save money. Okay. I'm going to encourage you to save money. The philosophy that I have for my kid, for my daughter specifically, who's older, right? She's a teenager, but when she was living with me, the philosophy was, I'm going to, whatever you get, your response, you need to give me 50% of whatever you get. You need to give me 50% of whatever you get. And whatever you get, you're responsible for saving at least 50% of that, right? So that means how much does she get to spend on whatever it is that she wants? She gets 25% to spend on whatever it is that she wants, because 50% goes to me and that goes into a savings account that will not get touched. 25%, all right? That means she has 50% left over. 25% of that, she herself is responsible for saving. So she needs to learn herself how to feel that emotional. Sorry, y'all, I'm bumping into something. She needs to know what that emotional relationship feels like to save money versus spend money on the things that she wants, versus knowing that she needs to save money, right? Like, so we got to build, oh my goodness, man, this is killing me. I'm trying to build good financial habits. There we go. I'm trying to build good financial habits, right? So she needs to be able to feel that. If your kids don't ever feel any sort of pressure, if they don't ever feel any sort of pressure, then how can we expect them to grow? How can we expect them to grow if they don't feel any sort of pressure, if they don't feel any sort of tension, right? When your muscles get stronger, they get stronger because they're put under tension, right? They get put under stress. That's how your muscles grow. That's how you get stronger. We all know the famous saying, you know, diamonds are put under pressure and fire, and that's how they turn into diamonds. We all know that, and we all are aware of that. Same thing for our kids. How can we expect, right, to produce diamonds if we never put them under any tension, right? Alchemy is the method of transforming lead into gold. The method used to transform lead into gold is done under pressure. It's done under pressure. That's the only way. That's the only way that we can do it, right? So, what I want to encourage you to do is I want to encourage you to put your kids under not necessarily a schedule, but a task list, or at least a to-do list. Okay. Every day when they wake up, before they go to bed, all of these things need to be done. I don't care when you do them, because this helps them to understand whether they're a morning person or whether they're a night person. Can they be productive in the morning, or are they more productive at night? And they get to decide that. This is where they start to find out who they are. Can they put off everything, right? Like, and here's the thing. If this task list and this to-do list isn't done, which you should be checking, then that's when you wake them up at 2 a.m. when they just went to sleep, and you say, hey, why this ain't done? What's good? What What we doing right now? I don't understand why this isn't done, right? So now we're helping our kids, our children, to figure out who they are. We're helping our kids, we're helping our children figure out who they are, because this is something that they have to do, right? This is something, again, we're not babying them. Live is restricted and recommendation and searches are limited due to low quality content. What? Due to inactivity. All right, I gotta find a better way to do this, y'all. I think I'm gonna have to start using. I think I'm gonna have to start using the studio, but at least I know what I'm doing every single morning, yo. But again, yes, we want our kids to figure out exactly what their method of studying is, because one of the things that I didn't learn until it was not necessarily too late, but until late in my educational career, was I didn't learn how to study. And I'm going to do a whole video on this, but I didn't learn how to study. People will tell you what to do, but they won't give you the formula for how to do it. They'll tell you that you need to study, but they won't tell you how to study. Sometimes they won't tell you what to study. Yeah, we all know that we should study. I mean, that's a big part of life. That's a big part of, whatever it might be. But they won't tell you how to study. They won't tell you the best methods to study. What my goal and what my job is to give you the best methods to help you study, because you need to not only learn what to study, you also need to learn how to study. Are you a morning person? Are you a night person? Our kids don't know that, but it's the best way for them to figure out. Are they a person who can play all day and then right before they go to sleep, they can, bust out, all right, I still got 30 minutes of work left to do. I still got of math. I still got 30 minutes of reading left to do. I still got a little bit of history. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of those things. Also, another thing that our kids could and should do that I would encourage, okay? I would encourage your child to start a podcast. If your child does not have anything to do over the summer, you know what I would encourage them to do? I would encourage them to start a podcast and drop an episode every single day. Start a podcast about something they love to talk about, and I would tell them drop an episode every single day. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna save this. I need to do this tomorrow. Hold on. Let me. I need to. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Content for tomorrow's live. Start a podcast. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Start a podcast. There's a couple other things on here that I said that I want to make sure that that I talk about as well. I think those things need like a full episode. Like, I really think that those things need a full episode. But let's get back to the summer. Because sometimes I'll get off track, right? Read. Give them a to-do list. Okay. Read every single day. If you don't use it, you will lose it, right? And get them a to-do list. All right. Get them a to-do list, right? Remember, if you don't use it, you will lose it. Think about your favorite athlete. Think about your favorite whatever it might be, right? If LeBron James took 3 months off and didn't touch a basketball, would he be the same LeBron James that we know if Steph Curry didn't? Steph Curry would eventually get back to it, right? But it's going to take him a little while to warm up, right? You know what I'm saying? Think about that car. When you don't start that car in the wintertime, what happens with that car? The battery dies out, and then you need a jump, right? You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing what's going to happen with our kids, and we don't want those things to happen to our kids. So ensure that your kids read over the summer, right? Give them a task, give them a to-do list, give them a self-help book that they need to read over the summer. If you need ideas for self-help books, I did that in my previous live, so you can go on YouTube. You can listen. You can watch that previous live, but I promise you these are things that you are going to want your kids to do. You need them to read. And then you need to give them a task and to-do list. Our kids do much better when they have tasks and they have to-do lists. They feel better. They understand what they're supposed to be doing. We don't want them to guess. Well, Mom, you didn't tell me to do anything. That's what they're going to say. Dad, you didn't tell me to do anything, right? We're expecting them to anticipate the things that we want them to do when they're just not built like that yet. But if we want to build those things into our kids, we need to make a new standard for our kids that this is what I expect from you. This is what your summers are going to look like. We need to start early with giving them structure, because we all know the saying, work hard, play hard. But the problem is we got that reverse. We play hard and then try to work hard, but you can't play hard first and then not, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't got to, I don't understand what you're working on. I don't understand what you're working on, right? Parents, do not allow your children to lose what they have developed and what they have grown this summer. I guarantee that it will do more damage to them in the long run. All right. So I appreciate y'all. Remember, y'all, to everybody that's on Facebook, this is my first time live over on the Facebook channel. But moving forward, I will be live on the Facebook channel, the YouTube channel, and the TikTok channel. Moving forward, I thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. We are live every single weekday, Monday through Friday, from 8:30 a.m. From 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then we're also going to be live in the evening times as well. I think I'm going to do another 30 minutes in the evening time. So I will be live for 30 minutes during the day, 30 minutes during the night, man. We are mentoring your kids. I'm your favorite mentor's mentor. I promise you. If you want your children to be in a mentor program where they can learn, where they can grow, where they can develop, this is going to be the mentor program for them. We are going to skills that they need to be productive young men and young women in a society that they decide to create. And I want them to build and create their own version of what success looks like and what life looks like. Not what society has told them, not what society has conditioned them to believe. They can create their own realities. They just have to have the right tools in their backpack to do it. And I'm Backpack Jeff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the right tools in your kids' backpack, man. I thank y'all so much. Again, remember, make sure that them kids read, give them kids a to-do list during the summer, yo. Do not let them sleep on this summer, all right? Do not let them sleep on this summer. This is not the time to relax. This is the time to go harder. The best time to kill an alligator, as they say, is after it already ate. And the reason being is because that's when it's full and it's relaxed and it can't really move as well. So this isn't the time to relax just because it's the summertime. This isn't the time to take a chill pill just because it's the summertime. This is the time to go harder on the things that we want in this life, because the life that you deserve is waiting on you. And right now, if you stop turning the pages of that book because it's summertime, it's going to take you even longer to get there. So keep turning the pages of your life, man. I'm your favorite cousin, Backpack. Thank y'all so much. Y'all know my motto. It's always stay in your bag, so you never got to chase a bag. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow.